What's going on, Internet? Welcome to episode 37 of The Summit, the podcast where we share with you all the latest and greatest gaming, anime, and pop culture news, saving you all the time of finding it yourself. If you're listening to this, you can find us on all major podcasting platforms. We're available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Don't forget if you want to reach out and keep up with us.
Can you tell this nigga reading the script?
You could always find us in our Discord server at discord.gg/thesummit. While you're at it, give us a 5-star rating on all supporting platforms. Bringing you in for today's episode, I'm your host, High Roller, and with me are my co-hosts who make all this possible, starting with Ashy.
Oh my God. Hey, you know what, High Roller? That's your first one, so I'm not going to judge you. What's going on, people? Welcome to episode 37 of The Summit. I'm going to pass it back to my boy, High Roller. Nothing new over here.
Next is Rain, aka CJ, who was trying to fuck me over, but go for it.
Oh, you really think you're all that, baby? Yeah.
Tell him again.
Vibes, you know? You know what I mean? I'm back because I wasn't here last episode, and them boys edited out what I said to y'all. All I did was I joined while they was recording and shouted out all these wonderful people that tuned in. Appreciate y'all.
Next is our other host, Razor.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Razor here. Nothing new to really announce here. Glad to be back for episode 37. Back to you.
Next is our final co-host, Striker.
Yo. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna cut him some slack. That nigga's been knowing how to read for over 20 plus years, so yeah, you gotta do better. At least reading. But
Got to do
what's
better.
good? What's good? This is the one and only, the almighty, y'all know me, it's Striker. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pass it back.
You feeling yourself today, huh?
And today we have a guest. His name is Cheese Cubes. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Jeez.
Hughes.
They call me Lips.
Boy, right now, bro. they frying your ass right now, dog. I don't know. You might have to fight back, but what's good, y'all? It's Cheese Cubes out here.
Yes, sir. High Roller, you got anything else to say?
Nah, y'all fucking with me. I'm not an in-character nigga. Y'all should have known this.
All right. I'll let you pass the torch. Oh God, this sounds different with these headphones. What's going on, everybody? Episode 37, like we said, thank you for tuning in. We got some news for y'all today. Rainbow Six Siege has finally acquired full crossplay, and it only took them 9 years. Well, they got it on their season 4 update, and so we're looking at full crossplay among the PC and console players. I don't think that excites anybody here in this chat because we're not playing Siege right now. But if anybody is out there that likes Siege and is still playing that shit competitively, you have full crossplay now with your fellow PC or console players. But Ubisoft, which seems to be the company of the year this year, Ubisoft says they swear to protect console players from PC cheaters. And you know me, I believe everything Ubisoft tells me. That's just me. Anybody can hate on that, that's fine. But I believe everything Ubisoft tells me, and this is what they promised. They said, and I quote, this is directly from Ubisoft themselves, they said the anti-cheat updates includes improved cheater detection to ensure fairness. Ubisoft also said with the arrival of PC and console players, with console crossplay, players with a mousetrap penalty will be forced into the PC matchmaking pool for 90 days. If crossplay is turned off, these players will be unable to join matchmaking until the option is turned back on. Additionally, matches with a detected cheater will be automatically canceled with no impact on their MMR. So that's what they're saying. They also said that their squads, including a PC player, will be automatically moved to the PC matchmaking pool, which is something we see across the games, across all our platforms. So it's not really a big surprise. However, the PC players will not have the option to join the console matchmaking pool. Console players who play ranked playlists with crossplay active will maintain a PC ranked that is separate from their console ranked. And that's all Ubisoft had to write. So yeah, all those Siege fans out there, go ahead and get excited for a full implication of crossplay on the platforms. Any Siege players still active on the summit right now? Any of y'all still playing Siege?
I mean, I don't play that shit unless somebody asks me to, but you can always see, them niggas actually ban people on that game. Like, if you're playing a game, you can see that shit pop up, in the kill feed on the left.
They'll ban them off RIP?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they'll ban them off rip. It's kind of funny, low key.
Yeah,
Optioned it out.
that should be going off like rapid fire on the left side of your screen.
Got him.
It shows you niggas that's getting banned that's not even in your game, just so you
Oh,
know.
what?
Yeah,
Oh, it's just universal then.
yeah.
Like around the globe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
That's kind of.
They gotta remind y'all. They gotta remind y'all we watching and we locking niggas up.
Example,
Yeah.
Timmy playing upstairs in the guest room just got banned in China.
What DJ Khaled said, another one.
Crazy.
Come on now. That's not it for the Ubisoft news though. I'm gonna just scatter through the news because we don't have much news and we got a lot to talk about because we got some game of the year bullshit that I wanna discuss with the boys. But Ubisoft also so there's been a lot going on with Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed. Apparently, I did some research on Assassin's Creed Infinity. Well, that's been renamed. That's going to be called Animus Hub. So for those of you listening who don't know what Assassin's Creed Infinity is, no, it is not a game. No, it is not a remaster. Assassin's Creed Infinity is that was the old name, but essentially what it was a platform that will connect future Assassin's Creed games and serve as a hub for the series. Mainly for their modern day storyline. So all the games that they plan on putting out in the future. I believe it's going to start with their next project that's codenamed Hex right now. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So Assassin's Creed Infinity, now named Animus Hub. It's said that it's going to be a hub that allows players to launch future Assassin's Creed games. The game will be presented as DNA memories that players can click into and play. Seems kind of useless to me right now, I'm not going to lie. But to continue, it says Assassin's Creed Infinity will be the new home for the series' modern day storyline. And it says again, Assassin's Creed codename Hex is one flagship game that will be incorporated into Assassin's Creed Infinity. Hex is being developed by Ubisoft Montreal and is expected to have like a witchy horror vibe. So stay tuned for that whenever they give more announcements on that. But essentially right now, it's just, I guess, like you said, a hub for Assassin's Creed games. Now, this is the controversial thing about this because we already have Ubisoft Connect. Ubisoft Connect is Ubisoft's own little hub for their games. Obviously, they took a lot of their games, especially like their new games that they're putting out. They're taking it off Steam and they're put for the PC side and they're putting it all on Ubisoft Connect. So they're making you go through their own software to buy their games. My thing is with this, right? And I want to talk about this with y'all because I could be delusional or whatever, but I don't think this is just I don't know what's the word for it. I don't think this is efficient. I think this is just, I don't know. I feel like they could have took this idea and just incorporated it into Ubisoft Connect already. Like, what's the point of making players kind of use two softwares on an idea that really seems like nobody wants? But I don't know. I'm not the biggest Assassin's Creed player. Maybe Rain will have like a bigger opinion on this. But how are y'all feeling about an idea of like an Assassin's Creed hub?
I think it kind of makes a lot of unnecessary work for the developers because honestly, you're still gonna have to use Connect regardless. So you might as well just keep everything as it is instead of overcomplicating things.
That's what I was thinking. Right?
I mean, it's like the whole shit sounds like it's gonna be cloud based, so it's guaranteed to have issues regardless. But my main question was, is it gonna be similar to like what Battlefield is doing? Because how they did it on 2042, I think that was the last game that came out or whatever. They got a hub in that game that allows you to play like previous Battlefields type shit. But
how'd that work out?
That's pretty solid. A lot of people play it or utilize it because everybody loves Operation Metro from previous Battlefields. So
you think it'll be well accepted? You think it'll be just as accepted as that though?
Oh, I don't think anybody would give a fuck for real. Because like when you think about it, like to play a new Assassin's Creed, you got to purchase the Assassin's Creed. So usually you think about just starting that shit up and loading into that. But the purpose of a hub, like I need it to be justified. Like, am I purchasing the game in this hub or like? And Ubisoft has always been weird about the purchasing of their games across platforms. So that's why I just support that Uplay shit for $17.99. You know what I mean? That bit work. Across all
for the 37th week straight, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't miss.
If I'm gonna talk shit about them, I'm gonna at least plug in what I am paying for. You know what I mean? I do give these bitches money. You know?
We love it.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think any of us either. Striker.
Yeah, no, I ain't got
Striker,
nothing
you're
on it
last.
right
Never
there.
mind.
Oh shit.
Razor.
Damn. I mean, I don't really have much. I just thought kind of like, yeah, what is the point of that? Because no one's gonna finna go back and play a random Assassin's Creed. You're trying to play the new shit, like you said. So yeah, I don't know. It seems pointless to me.
Special guest cheese cubes. Any opinions?
Yeah,
How you
this
feel
is
about
kind of
Ubisoft as a whole?
As a whole,
Yeah.
Ubisoft moves weird because I agree with you. This feels like mad inefficient. I just can't fathom like what would be the need. But that's interesting though. You brought up the point earlier about Battlefield. I didn't even know Battlefield had something similar like that. Like that works. That makes sense. That works for like an actual popular game. I'm sorry, Assassin's Creed is falling off. It's just not what it once was. But
Have you played the last ones?
I'll admit I haven't played the last couple. I've just been turned off that I didn't even bother wanting to try them. So
that's tough. No, yeah, they definitely like after Unity, there was definitely a downward spiral of shit. But Odyssey was great, and then Valhalla was great as well. Both of them were great, and I think both of them got nominated at least for Game of the Year. But the ones prior to that, yeah, they were shit. Similar to like how Call of Duty do. It's just you get tired of the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you could
exactly.
change the location and the venue. It's the same thing with like Ghost Recon. Like, do you remember the last Ghost Recon you actually gave a fuck about?
No.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say play, and I had an answer, but gave a fuck about that's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, you were probably gonna say Wildlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Ubisoft has been an interesting company this year. They've been in the news a lot, not for good reasons. I just think they really got a lot of heat on them right now, and really they're trying to just like throw whatever at the wall to make it stick. And honestly, I think the best option for them, which they're not going to do, but the best option for them is just to kind of create like, and this kind of ties into another topic too, but I think the best option for Ubisoft right now is to kind of create something original. Like let's come up with a new IP. Let's stop relying on Assassin's Creed to carry the company. Like let's really Assassin's Creed in Rainbow. Let's start looking at something else to carry the company, because everything that they've been kind of putting out, in my opinion, have just been like mediocre and not what everybody wants. I mean, Assassin's Creed I think is great, and I think what they're trying to go back to with Assassin's Creed, or at least coming up with this modern storyline that they keep talking about, is a good idea. Like, I'm not saying kill Assassin's Creed, but don't rely on Assassin's Creed to carry your company. Like, I think there's plenty of original ideas that your developers can come up with, and that they probably want to come up with. Just let them free run with it. I think Ubisoft has, plenty of budget and plenty of room to work with. Just relying on Assassin's Creed and Rainbow all the time is just not going to get you out of this hot water.
Though, 'cause,
what's up?
Like, I don't think either of those two are. Well, Assassin's Creed might be their biggest breadwinner, but maybe not. I'm pretty sure, like, the Far Cry series is what really carries them.
Far Cry still to this day? Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Nah, honestly, it does. I
really?
love them, but it really does. Because at least speaking on this, right? Like, Assassin's Creed has fallen off, but Far Cry has still remained like a really solid game. Like, I probably say the weakest is what, 5? Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6, yeah, it came out about 3 years ago, so they've been working on another one.
I forgot about Far Cry. I mean, yeah, but still. Well, we had a Far Cry 6. Well, they're gonna make a Far Cry 7.
Yeah, because that's another one of their things. Like, they got their fingers in a lot of pies.
They do.
The crew, like that shit. That
crew is low key underrated. Low key. I don't really mess with racing games, but I hear from people who do.
Yeah.
They do have it in a lot of stuff, but I think they can come up with some new IP. It's like the same way I feel about Naughty Dog, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of a different comparison, but I think Naughty Dog kind of dragged out Uncharted. I think they're kind of. I don't think Last of Us 3 is going to be the last of Us. I think they're going to drag that out as well. It's just something where it's like if you have the resources to kind of come up with an original idea, I think you should stick with that. Not just drag the story on. Like, the main problem they're having with Assassin's Creed, what I've been reading apparently, is just that they're having a lot of creator block, and so that's why this whole push for this whole modern That's why this whole push for this whole modern era is being done, because they're trying to get back to their roots, which I totally understand, but don't force it. But like I said, this is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know, but Ubisoft has been in a lot of hot water this year. I'm still not sure exactly why. What's it called? Shadows got pushed back the way it did. I mean, from the way it seemed, they were bragging like it was going to be ready when it came down. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that they pushed it back instead of just, pushing out a game that wasn't ready. But it's just things like this that people are getting a little sick of. As far as like these empty promises. And so I don't know. I don't know what Ubisoft got going on, but I know that they need to kind of get a lot of their stuff together. But nothing's perfect. That's just my opinion on it.
We need to come back to this because I feel like we could talk about this about like several studios right now. I have beef with PlayStation on this bullshit right now.
Yeah, what's up?
Like,
Speak your piece.
Niggas really don't be trying to like be creative anymore. We have no IPs, or we have old IPs that could certainly use a remake or a remaster of some sort, bring it back to life, that they just kind of want to sit, lock it in a vault and just throw away the key. Like PlayStation's notorious for that shit. They nasty with it. And you got like places like Activision and EA just buying other companies and then shutting them down. Like we're not seeing great sequels for a lot of games. But I forgot, what is it? We took 9 years for crossplay, right? For Siege. Mm-hmm. That's been something that's been asked for years. Mm-hmm. It took people like a fucking decade to get Skate 4 out. People have been wanting Skate 4 ever since 3 dropped, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it is with certain franchises deciding that the Call of Duty route of just releasing game after game after game and watering it down, and then these other side of the street of just we're just gonna hold on to stuff. We're not gonna really talk about this. Oh, we'll buy this company, shut them down in the middle of the development, et cetera, et cetera. Like the industry be moving weird.
I do. I'd agree with that. I mean, that kind of brings me to another topic that because Sony is apparently trying to acquire and excuse me if I butcher this name, but Kadokawa, but they're like the conglomerate that basically owns like From Software, Spike Chunsoft, and shit like that. So it's like they own a bunch of gaming companies. And I don't know, back to what you were saying though, I feel like Sony's not very good at creating something original. They're very good at piggybacking off of things that are already successful, which is inherently not. I see why they do it, because it's a cash grab, right? Like, how many Spider-Mans can you pump out before people get sick of them? Like, unlimited, right? People are not going to get sick of swinging through the fucking city and shit like that. Like, they should, but they not. Spider-Man, God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us, what else? What else is Ratchet and Clank? Like, you got all these like IPs that have just been being reused since like forever, and it's getting a little old, in my opinion. Like, how much can you do with the same IPs, And I think if we that was kind of like their biggest issue with what was that game that just failed? The fucking the one that canceled, the one that lasted like a day.
Concord,
right? They didn't put enough resources into Concord. I mean, they spent a lot of money on
PS Extra, bro.
Exactly. Why couldn't they put that shit on PS Extra? That's another problem I have with Sony though. Like, their main competition is obviously Xbox Game Pass, which I believe is a phenomenal pass, right? A very good bang for your buck. But Sony, PlayStation Extra, what they just got Last of Us Part 1, a game that's been recycled since 2010, 2011, and they just got Part 1 on there. And Part 1 came out, which was a recycle of a recycle. Part 1 came out in 2022 or something like that. Like almost 3 years later, we get a PlayStation exclusive on their PlayStation Extra Pass. That's one beef I've had with Sony for years now. Like, their PlayStation Extra and all their stupid ass tiers. You just don't get any type of bang for your buck with these tiers. And Sony is just so greedy and they're so cash hungry that I feel like they neglect their player base a lot, and they get away with it because people buy into it, and that's the problem. Like, they get away with everything they do because people are gonna buy it. like, look, when Horizon, they just did a remaster of it, right? And the price on Horizon was it was like $20 for the game. As soon as Horizon Remastered came out, they upped the charge the game. It was selling for like $40. now, an old ass game, and people were buying it, and it's like they get away with it because people do it, no matter how many times people. And here's the thing about Sony. These little Sony ponies. People are gonna complain, but they're still gonna fucking do it. Look at the prime example of the PS5 Pro, right? The PS5 Pro drops. People complain. They're like, "Oh, I wouldn't pay for this and that." Bam! What did Sony do? They dropped the skin for it. Oh, now everybody's going crazy. They're buying it. What? What are we talking about, man? It's like, what are we doing? It's like y'all falling right into their hands. And why would they listen to us when we just do what they want anyway?
We're just gonna spend money anyway.
Like, exactly.
Call of Duty does this shit. Rockstar
every year
does this. Like at sports games, notorious for years.
2K.
Like,
oh my god, 2K every year.
I'ma still buy it every year.
Hey, that's my problem.
See,
I get it. I feel you. But it's like what they've done is just get rid of the competition, monopolize it like crazy. And it's like, what can we do at this point? Like, as much as we want to complain, like we can't do anything. Like bar none, if you actually care about, like the only company who's actually tried to care about you as a gamer has been Xbox or Microsoft, my bad, with Game Pass. Like clearly they meant that shit, that they were for the gamers. PlayStation don't care about us. 2K don't care about us. Like all these other places have shown they do not care at all. But at least, Microsoft is trying their hardest to at least allow for us to play as many different games as we possibly can, and even going back to like allowing us to play like older games so that they don't get lost.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because a lot of gaming companies like try to be more business minded, but to make more money, but they don't realize that if you just be for the people, for the gamers, you gonna make that money.
You gonna make the money.
Think of Baldur's Gate, for example. Like think of all the hate that came out from other studios and gaming companies based off what they did.
Shit, you can do Elden Ring. You can throw Elden Ring in that shit. Like,
you can do a lot of indie games. There's an indie game right now that's going through it. Like the Game Awards. Like at this point, there's just other places that have shown that they like you as a person, as a gamer. And then there's places that are just like, yo, open up that wallet. Go steal mommy's credit card, little nigga. Like, hey, go ahead and buy my game right now.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, Activision is big for that shit. High Roller, you know all about that one. Like, what was the COD killer name? X Defiant? Yeah, that shit's non-existent no more. It's like you said, the competition. These big companies, they fucking right. These big companies, they kill the competition, and it forces the players to play one game. I'm not saying like it's a that's a tough topic on its own. Even if we're doing a direct comparison between X Defiant and Call of Duty, right? Obviously, Call of Duty just does a lot of things better, but still, there isn't a game that can directly compete with Call of Duty, and it's been proven, and that's been the problem, right? That's what forces players back into that zone. Just like 2K, right? Name a basketball game that's really competing with 2K. You can't really name one, but they can still want to play a basketball game, and what their only option is 2K. And I feel like until we got some direct competition, that it's gonna just be monopolized, for forever. Like I think the only game that was comparing to 2K was what NBA Live back in the day. Yeah, and it's like that's gone now. The only thing competing with like Madden back in the day was college football. They just brought that back, and I mean, look what they did.
I was like, it's the same company.
But that's the same company too, so it's like that's a win-win. So it's like fuck. Yeah, there's no real competition that's not owned by EA outside of that football scene. So I don't know. It's just it's. I want to say it's unfair, but when you got billions to work with, I mean, you just get a.
Well, EA did lose something.
They own the rights to
they lost.
Like those players. Like
if I'm not mistaken, 2K has gotten the rights to make the next FIFA.
Did they really?
Yeah,
they did.
Oh my god!
Rights. So now this
will be the first time we got competition for real.
It wouldn't be competition because that means now that they have the rights, EA can't do it.
Yeah. It's really just a competition between EA and fucking 2K, right? For the sports scene.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because EA owned FIFA, right? And now EA's contract.
EA had FIFA, but they lost.
They had a partnership. Okay. So, damn, I didn't even know 2K picked up FIFA. So it's gonna be called 2K FIFA. The fuck is it gonna be called?
FIFA 2K, like they only got two options really.
Nigga said it backwards.
MLS, the league. I don't know.
I mean, it could just be called FIFA for real.
Now, whatever happened to PES, Pro Evolution Soccer?
You know, honestly, honest opinion, if you played PES, like I feel like people who have played both PES and FIFA, they're like, yeah, PES is actually like really good
Better.
gameplay as a song. Like it's
better.
actually incredible gameplay. But it's just like FIFA is just more arcadey. It's more, I would say, catered to casual experience. So obviously people are more drawn to that, and it kind of helps that, you know, FIFA had the actual FIFA licensing. Like nobody wants to play Manchester Red. They want to actually play a real team. You know, like
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, I mean, these are things that are known big issues, but as far as the consumer level, there's not much we can really do when it comes to that. I think a nice comparison that we're seeing now is, well, nice lessons that we're seeing now is the fact that obviously Marvel Rivals, when they hit the streets, everybody was loving it, right? You had player feedback, even if it was kind of like the initial feedback at first was like, oh, okay, you can't really say nothing negative about the game, but honestly, there's probably not much negative to be said about the game, right? Players were loving it. There was a lot of fun going on. And then Overwatch, what did they do when they saw the success of that and they saw their player base decline a little bit? They now were forced to kind of listen. And now what did they bring back 6v6 officially now? Is that back or is it testing now?
Oh, right now it's just like a limited time mode of Overwatch Classic where,
and I bet everybody's in that mode.
Yeah, you're playing like the game as it was in 2016.
Nice.
But they are
so funny to me.
Planning on bringing back 6v6 in the base game of Overwatch 2 next season.
Which brings me back to my point. What was the point of Overwatch 2?
There you go. I agree. What was the point of that?
What was the fucking point of Overwatch 2? That is crazy. Wait, if it ain't broke,
this whole event is just like, remember when our game was good? Y'all remember, right? Go ahead, play these patches again, bro. Like it's so silly. It's a joke.
It's a big ass joke. It's a big ass joke. I don't know. It's just, I feel like we just need more. Like, we need more like that. You know, Marvel Rivals, I think they did it right as far as bringing attention to what players really wanted, what they never wanted to leave in the first place. You know, and it woke a company like Blizzard up. And oh shit, well. Well, our players are leaving in this game and thinking about going back this game. Well, how are we going to bring it back? Well, maybe we should just kick back to our original ideas. You know, I think if we can get some more competition, really, it's just competition, because competition is good. You know, it keeps companies on their toes. It keeps them from being complacent. And that's just it has a lot of productivity at the end of the day. And right now we're seeing there's a lack of competition, especially when it comes to these big AAA games, which I think is a problem. But besides that, upcoming games we got for the month of November, like I said last week, we still got Microsoft Flight Simulator coming November 19th, which is already out by now. Same with Stalker 2, 9 Souls on the November 26th. On our Xbox Game Pass side, we have Indiana Jones Day 1 release, which is going to be on the 8th of December, and that's kind of all we got coming up for next month. November's already out. Everything's out for that. Let's get into a little bit of discussions, right? Because what I've been hearing, and I want to hear what y'all feel about this, but there's obviously, it's November. We're pushing up on December. I think Game Awards is like less than a month away. We got a lot of controversial conversations sparking up about Game of the Year, right? Like, what we got going on, we got a lot of talks on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We got a lot of talks on Astrobot, which is very concerning for me. We have Warhammer. I haven't played Warhammer, so I can't really formulate constructive criticism for Warhammer because I haven't played it. We have Black Myth Wukong. We have Stellar Blade. Played Stellar Blade. I don't even think this should be in a discussion, but somehow this is resurfacing. And of course, we have Elden Ring's DLC. They're apparently phenomenal DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. Right, so it's kind of two things in this discussion I kind of want to go on. How are y'all feeling about these?
We covered the news.
Yeah, the news is done. It's not much news.
Okay.
This is a discussion now. Yeah. So it's kind of like two things I want to pass the floor on to y'all. Like, do y'all feel like these are worthy nominations? 2, what do y'all think should win Game of the Year, even if it's not in these nominations? And 3, do y'all think a DLC should be a contender for a Game of the Year? And I'll pass the floor on. Striker, let's start with you. I see you got some stuff sparked.
That boy ready to start us off.
Absolutely, yo. Nah, man. DLCs, and I think we talked about this on another show. But DLCs should not be DLCs or remastered. I don't believe are ever contenders or should be contenders for Game of the Year. And the reason being is that you're not giving us anything new as far as like something that we haven't seen before. You're essentially just kind of adding on to a game that could have already been there to begin with. Why should we applaud a studio for giving us content that they decided to table off to just get more money out of it? I don't feel like that's something that is correct or something as gamers or the gaming community should reward. Is it something that they could put into a separate category? Sure, but let it be known as that separate category. A DLC of the year, a DLC that was actually like memorable. But Game of the Year, absolutely not.
Do you think it should be like a DLC of the year or something?
I think a DLC of the year would be fine. I feel like you should reward studios that if that's the route that we want to that we're kind of going at this point moving forward. Like, I mean, we've seen and expected like DLCs for this and that game and whatnot. We're expecting a DLC for Black Myth Wukong. Sure, you're giving the community more to it, but it's not a new game. It's an add-on to a game that exists. Let's categorize it as that.
Also, the award also doesn't state new game.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's Game of the Year. It's a game that was released of that year. So yes, it does.
No, it says Game of the Year. So that expansion was added on to that game. So therefore, that game could win Game of the Year again.
Fuck no, absolutely not. So you're telling me if they did if they did an add-on to fucking Pong, should Pong come up now as a contender for Game of the Year?
Who's Pong? What are you talking about?
Pong.
Like, Pong what?
Like the actual Pong, like the little game Pong?
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
shit?
Yes.
But I mean, was Pong getting nominated before then? Like, is it worthy? Like, that was a stupid ass example, bro. Say something like,
no, it wasn't. It's a game. It's a game. No, you mentioned it's a game. It's a game, and they're adding content, and they're adding content in that year.
Just chill out. Spider-Man, right? Say they added a DLC to Spider-Man, right? That game, if the DLC was good enough and Spider-Man was getting nominated for an award the next year, like, would that not be okay?
You're covering your point. No, it's not. That I literally told you why. If you're asking again, you're clearly just not listening.
I think the definition. I think what you're saying. I think what you're saying, Rain, it makes sense as far as like, yeah, it's still a game, but I think they need to exclude game one. You should only qualify for Game of the Year if that game was released that year, right? Not your DLC, but the actual full game. I think they need to make a new category for 1, remasters or remakes, and 2, DLCs. Like the Game of the Year nominations are getting bigger.
So you think they need 2 more new categories? That's
yeah,
just
why
gonna
not?
encourage
gaming's getting bigger. Why not?
Remake games though.
We get more content. We get more content. That's fine.
That's the whole point. Though. Like we're excluding the fact that these expansions, which exactly what they are, they're not games. You're getting an expansion, an add-on. Yeah. You're getting content that are being additionally added onto a game that's already existed, a game that existed on the year prior to which the game was actually to which the competition is made for. So if we're trying to see or gauge what game this year is worth nominating, or what game has set a standard for this year and has met multiple variables as far as experience, story, graphics, accessibility, a whole bunch of stuff that they have in this category. Why the fuck are we recognizing expansions in this list? That's not a game. You're giving us additional content to a game that existed prior to this this year and its competition.
I'm like, I think length in the DLC plays a good part of it. Because like you can get like a good 40-50 hours of gameplay in the new
and that's fine. DLC, and that's why you should be like nominated for a DLC of the year.
But that's not an actual thing though. So
it's not, but we're saying that's what they should make that an addition though. That's what I'm saying. It should be a new category. Like gaming's getting bigger. The game of the year awards, the game awards are getting bigger every year. They can add new categories. Like we have a whole music category.
Because there's not another company that's doing something like that. Like expansions aren't typically that big. You're like trying to create a whole new category for one outlier. That makes
But then it would make people want to make DLCs more.
But
we got Stellar Blade dropping DLC. We got Wukong dropping DLC. We got Elden Ring dropping DLC. We got plenty of. We got what's the game that came out earlier?
You want more IPs and not have them.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We're not saying you can't get one or the other. I'm not saying just because you get more DLCs, you're not gonna get new IPs. But what we're saying is, if you have a new category, that's more of an incentive for companies to, hey, maybe we could put more work into this DLC. Like Elden Ring's DLC, I haven't played it, but obviously it's gotten a good response. Obviously that would be something that would be worthy of having a DLC that would be recognized as, hey, this was a phenomenal DLC. It should have its own categories. There are plenty of games that are putting out great DLCs.
Give me 3.
But a lot of them are really short. I remember a few years ago I bought this new DLC for Elder Scrolls Online, and I paid $40 for it, and I was expecting so much because it was $40, and it was literally like 2 to 3 hours worth of gameplay.
Then it shouldn't be worth.
I really think the ones that practically give you brand new games like 40, 50 hours should be allowed to be a part of the game of the year. Like if you ever played the Witcher 3 DLCs, those are practically full new games. One of their DLCs, if I'm not mistaken, is pretty much bigger than the original game itself. So I feel like companies should be able to be awarded the game of the year for stuff like that if they practically gave you a brand new game.
Well, no, that's fine if they give you a brand new game or experience, or if there's some DLCs that come out per game or just play it as. But like, once again, it's still an expansion. So now at that point, we need to recognize that game or that content for what it is, not what it's worth.
Like last year, right? Cyberpunk's Phantom Liberty dropped, right? Should that be game of the year? Just because
it didn't get nominated, so no, it shouldn't have been game of the year.
But it shouldn't be nominated. That's my thing.
If it was good enough, yes, it should have gotten nominated for it. Is what I'm trying to say.
But it's not a new game. I think I think Game of the Year should be dedicated only to new games that release in the year of the Game Awards. That doesn't make sense.
Personally, I'm like split because like I see what you're saying. Like it's a DLC and expansion. It's not really a new game. But I mean, at the same time, like Harold was saying, if it's like a certain amount of work put into it, and then it's a certain amount of content within it. Yeah. It's practically a new game, right?
Because like fine,
a heavy razor, and like on that,
and then in this DLC that y'all are talking about, you had to replay the game to get to the DLC. If you didn't like if it was the reason you jumped into it because you just bought the expansion, you're like, all right, let me see what this is about. You still had to actually play the game to get to a point before you could even access the DLC. Yep. So that's like another thing. Whereas Phantom Liberty, you can jump right into it. With other expansions, traditional expansions, you can jump right into the content that you pay for. Whereas this one, you had to actually play the previous game too before you got there. I mean,
now one thing I will say though, thinking about this, I think specifically with this year, I mean, it's Elden Ring is an outlier, but also like this year doesn't have that many bangers up for Game of the Year. So like, why not put it up? You know, because I think it's like a reminder that, like,
been,
fucking yeah. I mean, it could have been, but those I don't think.
Well, I don't know. I feel like
great COD Killer X
Defiant. You got Elden Ring had DLC, Destiny 2 had DLC, Black Myth got DLC coming next year. You got Elder Scrolls had DLC, you got Diablo 4 had DLC, Alan Wake had DLC this year, Dragon's Dogma had DLC this year, Astrobot is coming out with DLC this year. You've got Tekken 8 had DLC, you've got Dragon Age has DLC coming out. You got all these games that have DLCs coming out, and it's like Helldivers 2 literally redid their entire game almost.
If they were
DLC.
good enough, they would have got nominated.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm not talking about a nomination for Game of the Year. I'm talking about there should be a separate category for DLCs. You asked me what would be the competition. There's plenty of games coming out with DLCs. There's no reason why that can't
plenty of games that had good DLCs, but that's why
it doesn't matter if it's okay. So what do you mean? I mean, there's plenty of good DLCs that came out. Like that doesn't mean just if it's not good, don't put it in the category. It won't get nominated. That's fine. You think what? You think Sonic is going to get nominated for Game of the Year this year? No, but it's still a game that came out. It doesn't just because it came out don't mean that you can't have a fucking category for it. I think I think there's plenty of DLCs coming out and plenty of good DLCs that come out where the Game Awards can have a category for DLC.
3 good DLCs.
Was Destiny 2? I don't play them in DLCs. Was Destiny 2 the Final Shape a good DLC?
Yeah, I said it was.
Was Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree a good DLC?
Absolutely, that's 2.
Okay, was Elder Scrolls DLC, was it good? I don't play Elder Scrolls. Was it good?
I don't think they had one this year. I used that as an example from previous year.
No, they had one this year. Okay, Diablo 4. We played Diablo 4. Was Diablo 4's DLC good? Or Final Fantasy 7's? Or Alan Wake 2's. Alan Wake 2 had a new chapter in their shit. Was it good? I didn't play Alan Wake 2. I don't know.
Rebirth's a fucking DLC, bro. Rebirth is a DLC. It's not a whole game.
But there's DLC that came out. You know, it's like there's enough DLC to come out there can be a category for it. You don't need to take up space. Like even what was that fucking game had a DLC that came out? I fucking can't think of the top of my head. That game had DLC and it was a remake. It's like, okay. You said what?
That game, huh?
To be honest, I came in leaning that, like, of all the DLCs, like, this is the only one I think that should deserve Game of the Year.
It's not.
I was gonna use the same Witcher 3 example because I feel like those. I think we should recognize those DLCs that put in so much content. You could practically say it's a whole nother game behind it. I think we need to. But honestly, to your point about like remasters, remakes, and just like
I don't want to encourage that. That's why I don't think there should be a category for it.
I don't think we need 2 categories.
Like
but I think 1 is enough. Like a best reimagining award for like DLCs, remasters, and remakes. Right? Like I think 1 extra category that might be enough.
That'll be cool.
And I think that's enough. But I think Shadow of the Erdtree, dude. Like, I feel like that one is a completely like different beast compared to the.
And I'm not denying that. All I'm saying is I think that kind of shines away from other great games that came out this year. Like I'd be a little bit upset if Shadow of the Erdtree kind of won over Black Myth Wukong, only because Black Myth Wukong that was their first AAA game. And they put a lot of work into it. Like that game is very in depth. I would feel a little bit salty if a DLC kind of, took a lot of that shine away from Black Myth Wukong. That's why I said I'm not dissing Erdtree. I'm pretty sure everybody enjoyed it. Not dissing it, but there should be another category for games like remasters, like reimagines, like Cheese just said. That would be fitting because there is a lot of DLC that comes out and there are a lot of remakes that come out, and it should just be in its own category. Like last year, people were talking about no, not last year, but the year before that, people were talking about Last of Us Part 2, Last of Us Part 1 being a nomination for Game of the Year, which I think is absurd because one, it won Game of the Year already. How the fuck you gonna remake the game and make it Game of the Year again? Like I don't think that's fair. Like yes, the game is great. It's always going to be great. And yes, they made it pretty again, but that doesn't mean it fucking deserves to be Game of the Year. But these were real conversations being had 3 years ago, right? I just don't think that's fair. Do I believe that it deserves some credit? Yes, because they did remake the game. It looked phenomenal. And if they want to make their own category and put that into something that's been reimagined, then yes, that I think that would be a great category because we are seeing a lot of remasters these days. We are seeing a lot of remakes and we are seeing a lot of phenomenal DLCs. But just putting it all into one category of Game of the Year, I just don't think that's fair to other games that put in a lot of work as well. Other new original games that put in a lot of work, it's just, I don't think that's fair. And I don't think there's anything wrong with creating another category. There aren't that many categories in game with the Game Awards. There's a bunch, but there's always room for more. I don't see the problem with just creating another category and recognizing other art forms. There's no downside to that at all. We're not discrediting Elden Ring for what they did. They did a phenomenal job, but it can go in another category. It already won Game of the Year. It doesn't have to win it again just because they put out a phenomenal DLC. It can win in another category and be recognized for their work on that.
I agree.
But hey,
this is cool.
Agree to disagree.
Ain't no other category.
Besides,
there ain't no other category, right?
Do you think it's like shilling like any other game this year from getting that position? That nominee?
Well, people are saying Astrobot and people are saying Final Fantasy. People are even saying like Warhammer. I didn't play Warhammer, so I don't even know. I don't even think that's a game I would like.
But those are still nominations, and I feel like those
are nominations.
Been nominated. Like
I'm not saying they shouldn't be nominated. Astrobot, I don't think Astrobot should be nominated. No, I think if you've played Astrobot, it's nothing more than a fucking like a PlayStation Mario Party. Like it's really not that. It's a fun game. It's just I don't know what the hype's about, and that's just my opinion.
I think parents are glazing it for their kids.
They are.
It has to be.
They are.
It has to be.
It's gotta be.
It's not that good of a game. There's no story to that game at all. I mean, shit.
That shit was on narrative, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I probably was.
There's no narrative.
Like I feel like the kids had to have adored this shit. Like,
no, it's fun. It's a fun. It's a very
cartoony. Bright,
it's a cartoony
vibrant
game. Yeah, kids love it. I mean, I'm not gonna knock that, but it's not nothing that's worthy of a game of the year. Like, it's not exceptional. It's just a fun party game. Like, I'll put it on if I got nothing to play. As a kid, you'll put it on. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy bouncing around, smacking things with boxing gloves, this and that. But it's not game of the year. I don't even think it should be a nomination. If you want to be honest, I'd put Stellar Blade over Astrobot. Like, as far as creativity goes,
I don't know, bro. That shit can stay out there.
No, don't get me wrong. It can stay away. But what I'm saying is, I'll put Stellar Blade over Astrobot. Like, I don't see what was so exceptional about Astrobot. There was just nothing that was like, oh yeah, like I have to play this game. I didn't get that wow factor from Astrobot at all. Don't get me wrong, no, I don't think Stellar Blade should be in the conversation either. But now that I guess Stellar Blade has resparked some hype because they're putting out a DLC, which apparently is decent. But everybody's like, oh, Stellar Blade is game of the year, this and that. The conversation is sparking back up. And I don't agree with it because I played Stellar Blade. I don't think Stellar Blade was anything exceptional other than, the Korean titties that we saw. But other than that, I mean, there's what did it have to offer? The story was subpar. The action hack and slash was decent. The platforming was wonky. And just kind of the collection just felt a little bit oversaturated. There was nothing about Stellar Blade that made me go, damn, I would want to play this again. It wasn't that wow factor that we get from like games like a game like Black Myth Wukong that came out. Now Warhammer, I can't speak for it. Final Fantasy, I'm not a fan. I can't really speak for it. I do know that the Final Fantasy games are always successful because they got that niche crowd, right? Everybody loves Final Fantasy, so I'm not gonna speak too much on Final Fantasy, but as far as what I believe should be a 100% nomination is, a contender is Black Myth Wukong. What?
Balatro is the other nominee that's up there.
What's that?
Let me put some respect on Balatro.
Solitaire 2.0.
Oh God, I'm looking at it now on Steam.
What it is, it's a roguelike poker game. Now, here's my thing. I think it's a joke that it got put up there. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the game. I got hell hours in that thing, but if there was ever going to be, I guess going back to like our topic earlier on just like the companies that care, like if there was going to be an indie game, it probably should have been Hades when it released a few years ago. Otherwise, like I don't think any other indie game could possibly get there. But like I think what they're doing with a lot of indie games over the past
was Hades years, the same year as Stray?
No, I think it was Stray with Last of Us 2 because I think that's who.
I think Stray was a year after Hades, maybe. Hades was Hades last year, or was Stray was last? No,
Hades 2 was last year.
Stray was last year. Hades was the year before that.
Or
maybe. Yeah, check that.
I need indie games to get more love.
Hades came out in 2020.
Okay, so Stray was after then. Okay.
Is there not a Hades 2? There's only one.
There's a Hades. It's like
Hades 2 came out in. Oh wait, that's
this year.
Okay, yeah, this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just early access though, so I mean, I don't know about.
Well, is it up for indie this year?
No.
Balatro, I think there is an indie category, but I don't know.
There is an indie category. We got Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and the Plunky Squire.
Ooh, I don't know, bro. I would vote Balatro, but I heard a lot of people gas up Plucky Squire. There's some good indies out there. They've been carrying my gaming hours compared to like we talked about it earlier. Like, yo, I'm so tired of fucking these boring little ass AAA titles. It's either open world that's empty or you just released the 7. How many Final Fantasies is there? And when are we gonna have our final one for real? I'm sick of this shit.
So was thinking like, if we're talking about remakes not really being able to be nominated, how y'all feel about Final Fantasy 7 being up there? Because it's like,
No, it shouldn't be up there.
Nah, it shouldn't
I
be.
How
agree.
many
Yeah,
times
it
they gonna
shouldn't be
redo
up there.
Final Fantasy, bro? Like, come on now, that's just hack, bro. That's a fucking hack.
I mean, Final
I can at least
Fantasy as a
respect-
game, the versions are like iterations, like 14, 15, 16, or whatever. Like, sure, that's fine. Those are whole games. It's not
Yeah,
like
that's a new game. Technically,
this
yeah.
bullshit fucking Final Fantasy. All right, my bad. I'm not gonna call it the DLC bullshit, but I'm gonna call it being Game of the Year bullshit. Because Rebirth, I mean, as much as the whole community wants to glaze this thing as being a whole game, it's not. It's a continuation of the story because Final Fantasy VII didn't finish. They still had to cover 2 other parts. And it's crazy because they broke this shit up into 2 parts. There's Rebirth, and there's going to be another part after this.
Yeah,
so you're going to tell me that
another
other
one.
bullshit is going to get fucking nominated for Game of the Year?
Yes, it is.
And that's okay? Nah.
It's not.
oh,
I
no,
don't think it's okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
breathe,
you
my
was
boy,
passionate
breathe.
about that.
I mean,
but I feel you.
I
It's,
know
it's,
you're so
it's
passionate.
ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous to give up that opportunity. And going to you guys is like how you felt about the DLC. Like I kind of get it in that sense. Like, we are robbing other deserving. Maybe robbing is too extreme, but we are preventing other like decent games that should have been nominated this year that are completely brand new IPs. And I think that's what maybe we're looking for is for Game of the Year to be a brand new IP, or if it's going to be like a continuation of the story. A 2, a 3 is fine. Like you said with Final Fantasy 14, 15, and whatnot, that's okay. Don't give me another fucking remake. The Resident Evil 2 remake getting a chance?
Yeah.
Love the game.
Insane.
It's great. I don't think it deserves it feels like a brand new game, but it shouldn't take the place of like other also deserving opportunities.
And like, look at this. Innovation and accessibility is a category in the Game Awards. You cannot tell me that we don't have room for a category directly for remakes or DLCs when we got an innovation and accessibility category. Like, we have the space for it. There's a best VR game. Who the fuck's playing VR games? You know, I guess they got that crowd. Best esports athlete. We got a best esports athlete category, right? But we can't have a best remake / DLC category. Like, these are real things. Best content creator. Kai Cenat's not even on this bitch. We got best content creator on here. We got the rest of these seem pretty good. I
want to go back to what you got against VR.
VR? Oh, I mean, no, that was just a joke. I mean, who's playing VR?
No, he meant that.
Like, who the fuck's playing VR? They had that Batman game, and look, it's up there. Batman Arkham Shadows up there, of course. That's the only game I know that came out on VR this year.
Asgard Wrath 2, I have that, which is very, very good. Which
that shit is on VR. It's on there. It's on there. Dota 2 best esports game is back on there. Like, what we got: CS, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant. So the same best esports game as last year, just on fucking repeat.
It's the same shit category. For the last
actually, looking
shit.
at these categories, we need to start differentiating some shit.
We do. That's what I'm saying.
We need to add in that like remastered.
We do, because that's what matters. Like, we are actually getting games that are being remastered that these companies put a lot of time into, and a lot of the artwork's phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie, it needs its own recognition, but putting it into the game of the year is just not. I don't think that's acceptable, because that's just, you can't do that. You can't regurgitate something and then sell it as the best game ever again. You can't do that. Now, I'm not discrediting you, like I said, but it needs its own category. We got all these bullshit categories. You telling me you can't put a damn category in for some of the most popular games that we have out today, or the most oversaturated games we also think of how oversaturated it is for remakes and remasters today. That shit is popping out like hotcakes. Like, we can have its own category. It'll be probably the next best nomination or the next best category other than Game of the Year. Like, think of it. What we got? Speaking of other categories, we got best multiplayer. We seen the same games, and especially with this esport categories, right? We got Dota 2, League of Legends, CS. It's the same shit as last year, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before. That shit, that category don't even fucking matter. Like people gonna play them games regardless,
bro.
Like, come on now. Like, you can't tell me there's no room for it. There's room for it. Like, we got all these bullshit categories. Who the fuck is
Most
giving a fuck about the best
anticipated game? Like,
most anticipated game? Like, what the fuck? Like, come on now. Like, we got and GTA 6 is on there. How is GTA 6 on most anticipated game on
I don't mind that.
Come out.
What's everyone hyped for that's coming up?
GTA 6.
Yeah.
Of course. Like, sure. I mean, I get the hype, but like, you can hype that shit over Twitter, over social. We don't need a category for most anticipated. That's basically
everybody knows gonna win
game
anyway.
of the year.
Fucking GTA 6.
What you mean? Monster Hunter Wilds could win?
No, it's not winning over GTA 6.
I know, I'm trolling.
All the memes are, we got this before GTA 6. We got this before GTA 6. And come on now, everybody waiting on GTA 6.
Winning an award before GTA 6.
It's winning an award before the game drop. Like, what the fuck? Come on now, we got room for it. We got best scoring music. That's in there. I think these soundtracks deserve some credit. I ain't gonna lie. Best multiplayer. Who gives a fuck about a multiplayer game for fucking Game Awards? For the Game Awards, nobody cares. People gonna play
that was a pretty crazy take.
No, I kind of.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Black Ops 6.
No. Who really does care for the Game Awards?
Nobody cares
for multiplayer. Like,
No,
if
nobody
you
cares
like a
for
multiplayer game, you was
gonna
already
play it.
gonna dick ride it anyway and play it. So
Facts.
no one
That's
cares.
crazy.
was.
That's wild.
Okay, if there's no if best multiplayer, right? If Black Ops 6 don't win, people still gonna play it? Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Yeah,
I
but
can
like,
see,
there's other multiplayer games. That's the whole point about it.
Tekken 8,
what
Super
did-
Mario Party, Jamboree, Warhammer 40K, Helldivers 2, and Black Ops 6 are the nominees for this.
I was taking 8 multiplayer.
my thing is, like, for multiplayer, they're gonna need their player support no matter what.
Exactly.
There's a King of the Hill lobby in there, kind of like more
Yeah,
combat.
but only 2 of y'all playing.
Yeah,
That's still multiple
It's multi.
players.
It's multi, I guess. Technically, it's multiplayer. Fuck it, why not, right?
But no, I feel like that's definitely a necessary category because it's a smaller niche. Like there's that community or there's those gamers that we talked about that just enjoy playing games with other people rather than playing single player games. Like Black Myth Wukong, it's solely a single player game. So there's gonna be those players that's just like, I don't want to play that game because I want to play with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. So why can't they not get a voice on their favorite multiplayer game?
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying take it out, but I'm saying we can add more. You know, if we got all these things that people really not caring about, we can add another category for remakes, remasters, DLC. We can do it. It's not that fucking hard. And I bet one day they will do it because we are seeing a new age where a lot of remakes are being put on the table and a lot of remasters and a lot of phenomenal DLCs. Like, I think we will see it. It's just something that needs to come a little faster.
How do we not have a best single player category? Like, now that you mentioned Wukong, it hit me.
That is true.
We don't have a best single player. That would solve a lot of things for some people.
Is that not what like the RPG category is though?
There's an RPG category, but
aren't a lot of RPGs you could play also like multiplayer? At least not as like metaphor and like a dragon, but like
technically every game is an RPG. I mean, you playing a role. So, I mean, I guess that would be like a fucking single player. Like, what they got in here: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and then Metaphors.
I'm upset. You know, Rise of the Goat Man didn't make it, but you know,
I feel like
what didn't make it?
Rise of the Goat. He said,
Rise of the Ronin. Oh God.
That shit should have been up there.
They need to they deserve to be kept out of all conversations.
Let's point out a game he didn't finish, saying it should be up there.
What you mean I didn't finish? I finished.
You literally just said the other day.
You got proof?
But you gotta go back and finish it.
I gotta go back and finish. Ronin is crazy.
I'm quite sure there's beating the first game Tuesday, so I'm sure we can go look at your stuff.
No, I played on PlayStation. It's not on my Steam.
I found out that boy got Metal Running. He might pull up a clip.
Oh shit.
No, I got him on PlayStation as a friend. I could probably go see if he has the achievement for beating the game.
I mean, I'll wait for you to fact check it if you was going to do it.
I'm about to block you right now, nigga. Calm down.
You gonna do it?
What did I see?
That shit all the way in the other room. The PlayStation.
Yeah.
Called his bluff.
I could do it though.
Best action adventure.
Hey,
Star Wars Outlaws.
It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep.
Adventure.
Anyways,
I'm already reaching for the controller, honestly.
We got Star Wars Outlaws in the best adventure game. We got Prince of Persia, which I think
You voted for that one?
No, I'm not voting for any Star Wars Outlaws. No, any Star Wars game made by Ubisoft is not getting voted on by me.
Oh no, we started the pod with you being a Ubisoft fanatic and
You're right. Yeah, everybody vote for Star Wars Outlaws. Shit, put it on Game of the Year. Fuck it. Let Ubisoft get a win this year. Fuck it. Best action adventure, Astrobots up there. I mean, Silent Hill 2's on here, and that's a remake.
Yeah, once again,
another example.
That's a remake of an old ass game. That's a remake of something that was like
still a remake.
Old gen consoles though.
That's why it should be its own category. It's still a remake. It still came out. I mean, it ain't
but
original.
The gamers probably haven't played it.
Yeah, but never played it. A whole lot of
I've never played it.
Like, have any of y'all played the original Silent Hill?
I've never played it.
You bought Silent Hill 2, right? Razor? All right, I need to play that. I need to boot that up.
I'm saying, I think when it's been remade after 20 plus years, I think that's more of an exception. That's practically a new game.
Tell you what. If they ever bring a Jack and Daxter or Sly Cooper back, I will be voting for Game of the Year. So
you
got me there.
Exactly.
I guess, but if a game's been around for since Game of the Year has been a thing, and it's been remade, I don't think it should be nominated for a Game of the Year. 20 years plus, okay, that's a different story. Technology is way different now, but sit up here and nominating remakes that's a remake that for a game that came out anything more than greater than 15 years, well, I say 12 years is kind of insane. In my opinion, 15. I give it 15 because it's about to be 2025 and 15 years now. It's 2010. So I think that's reasonable.
It's glitched, Razor.
Nah, it's not. You got a few trophies to go too. You're not even on the last mission or nothing.
But okay, so what do y'all think should be the game of the year then this year? What is y'all opinion? Okay,
100%. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? It's 2 nominations up there that I think deserve it. Low key. So,
what you got, Ray?
I don't know, man. Beating pre-patch Radon got me feeling different, Low key. If I do vote.
If you had to pick one, what would it be?
If I had to pick one, it would probably be Wukong because of the ending and the art, for real. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see them get nominated for their soundtrack, so I feel like they got shiesty out of that.
Let me see. Did they?
Wait, did the
No, actually, I agree with that. I've never even played the game.
That's wild as fuck. They didn't.
I ain't never played the game, but I've heard that.
They got Astrobot over Wukong on score music.
That's wild.
They got Black Ops 6 over Wukong, bro.
That motherfucking Subway Surfer ass soundtrack they got over Wukong. That's wild, bro.
Yeah, they can't do my niggas like that, so I hope they get Game of the Year. It's just, I don't like what the media is trying to do with downplaying their nomination.
That's wild, bro. Well, they did say in Chinese that they basically hated women or some shit like that. Isn't that what they said?
No.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck them.
What?
No, that was a horrible mistranslation by some lady.
Well, that's what IGN reported.
I was about to say she worked at IGN.
Yes, that's what IGN reported. Day one. Did you know? Oh God, here we go. If IGN's giving something a bad rating, it's a good game. Says a lot.
I say Wukong should win it, but
we got best mobile game, Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Hell yeah,
well deserved,
just fully deserved.
I don't think Helldivers. I mean, they restructured it. Maybe it should be up there. I haven't played it since they restructured it.
Did they restructure it, or they just
they nerfed everything
again? Yeah.
Helldivers for what category?
Best ongoing.
Which category?
Over Destiny 2,
that also
Diablo
feels
4,
like
Final Fantasy 14, and Fortnite.
I feel like Fortnite might take it. I don't know. That's another category like the esports one. I'm like, it's probably whatever is the most popular game of the previous year.
Probably.
That's a category
Fortnite,
for like
Fortnite or Destiny 2 might take it.
Like World of Warcraft and Elder Scrolls Online.
I personally don't see Dragon's Dogma taking anything this year.
Tough.
Hell no.
I just don't see it.
It might get best RPG, bro.
It ain't gonna get it. Astrobot's gonna get that.
Not nominated.
I have Like a Dragon and Metaphor over Dragon's Dogma too. So,
Like
Best
the
art
Dragon,
direction, I would
well,
give it to Black Myth.
I didn't play it. That was good.
like a Dragon game,
Yeah.
it was straight. It was solid.
Mm.
I only tried it out though. I don't own the game. I just
Okay.
game shared from a friend. But Metaphor though, look, I've been on like a little Persona kick lately, so maybe I'm just glazing right now. But
Well, we know best
You
game
played-
direction. Black Myth's not getting best game direction. We know that. Niggas still upset about the map. So that's not
That's tough.
happening.
Yeah, this sounds like a skill issue, yo. Like, that shit, that's
Not
like
happening. When I say I'm upset, I'm saying niggas still mad about the map. So that's not getting that. That's not happening at all. Elden Ring might get that one.
Best narrative. Who you think got best narrative? You got Rebirth, Like a Dragon. Did you talk about this? Silent Hill 2 or Hellblade 2? Personally, I wanted to say Hellblade 2.
I haven't played any of them, so
my
I don't know.
experience wasn't that great.
with Hellblade,
Mm-hmm.
I think if there was a best visuals category, Hellblade knocks that out the park.
Oh yeah, for certain.
But there
It was
isn't.
cinematic. I ain't gonna lie. It was cinematic.
Oh, it was a
Fuck.
fucking. I thought it was almost VR. Shit felt like real life. Shit was insane. No wonder the game was 6 hours. Put all their focus on their visuals. Folks was tired. Oh my god. What we got? What else? Best audio. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is in here somehow. Did they run out of games to nominate for that?
They just really didn't want to
They
throw
must
Black
have.
Myth up there again.
They said just throw Call of Duty up there.
They threw him up 4 times, and they were like, "Yeah, that's enough. We can't."
Something gotta stick.
Did you just say the game?
The IGN reporter was in the office when they
The
were
one that
thinking
people
this
said
was.
you gotta purchase the audio for it got recommended for best audio. Is that
Mm.
what happened?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Audio
Yes.
sold separately. Crazy. All right.
It's crazy as hell, man.
Hey, but
Oh.
you know what? We're gonna also chalk that up to hold on, what's the category? I'm pretty sure they got nominated for what was it? Accessibility?
Yep. Accessibility. Mhm.
Now that's going to Star Wars Outlaws. For sure.
Oh god.
Innovation and accessibility. That's
Oh
going to
god.
Outlaws.
If you give them that, Ubisoft gonna have a boner.
Well, you know.
Like, we did something right.
Well, they access
You talking about the same game when the main character was facing the stormtroopers and the stormtroopers wouldn't shoot because they didn't recognize it?
I mean, that's typical Star Wars shit. Now, have you watched their movies? Come on now. Come on now.
Hey, accuracy, shit. You're right.
Yeah,
Accurate.
that's just on
That's
point.
more accurate right there.
Yeah, that's it.
We trying to bring it to life. You know, shit. Did too good of a job. Thanks, Ubisoft.
What does that mean though? Like really? Like what does innovation and
We don't know.
accessibility mean?
I guess
Or game.
maybe. I'm guessing since Black Ops 6 is up there, maybe because of that Omni movement, like the.
Nah, this
you
is
know, they-
fucking like people that are disabled. So like missing
What?
limbs or yeah. You didn't know that's what this category was for?
Wow. No, they got a voice. Sorry.
damn.
Damn.
I'm joking. Disabled people that listen to this. I'm sorry. What was so what accessibility settings did these games had that stood out from any other game?
$20 for an audio.
What, colorblind issue or something? $20
I
for audio.
genuinely
That's
wonder how deep these things go because like the
Speech
only
recognition.
time I
we're not disabled. You know,
that's true.
Yes.
Speech
Right?
recognition,
That's
so
true.
you could basically call out what you want to do in the game and it'll do it for you. Smart gadgets, like if you only got one hand, you could use like a controller that's accessible for one hand to do everything as someone with two hands.
Isn't there a motherfucker
I
that
feel
uses
like-
a whistle to play COD?
That's
Yeah,
wild.
there's a couple niggas that do a couple weird things.
you know, I met a dude who had one arm and he was pretty good at COD.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I would be
Yeah.
sick if a nigga with one arm beat me in COD.
Yeah, he
I'm
sniped.
about to
Yeah.
say, bro, you telling me I'm getting my ass beat by the unemployed and a one-armed nigga? Like
Like
don't
he was
piss me
holding
off,
the
bro.
controller up to his face and used his like bottom lip to press the front button if he needed it.
Not the
Besides
bottom
that-
lip.
Yeah, he's
It's
using lip
crazy.
and chin. But like, yeah,
There's niggas that do that shit on Elden Ring, bro. Nigga played
That's
Elden Ring
insane.
and beat Elden Ring with a potato.
What, a potato?
That one girl beat her on a dance pad.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Sometimes you gotta recognize people just better than me, bro. Because I couldn't do that shit.
Real skill issue. It's like, man, I can't fold.
Can't fool.
Telling me that
Hell
bitch
no.
danced all the way to the end? Yes.
That's insane, bro. That's insane.
But that's neat. I didn't know what that was, and I don't know exactly what those games are being highlighted for. But
I'd be curious. Whoever actually does win, I might be willing to look it up just to see like how.
it's gonna be
like I imagine it's gotta go crazily in depth. Like the only one I know of something like this was like I think Control that won it a few years back, and but I saw like a video on like how in depth they went with their accessibility, I guess, and that like to me as someone who wasn't disabled, I was like, well, damn, I didn't realize like they were developers like quite literally trying to make it so like anyone could possibly be playing their games.
yeah, you can play Star Wars Outlaws even if you're blind.
Oh shit! You know what? Blind people may actually love playing Star Wars Outlaws.
That's crazy.
So I'm gonna stop shitting on Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh my god!
But why?
I feel like that was a double. You shit on blind people too.
Oh man, they might have fun doing it. No worry. But we do got the Game Awards. December 12th it's a Thursday at 4:30 p.m. That's a little earlier than that must
already?
be Cali time. I ain't vote yet. Is that LA? So that's Cali time. So it's gonna be what? What's Cali time compared to Eastern time? 3-hour difference. So it's gonna be about 7 p.m. or some shit like that.
We throwing that on the Discord?
Of course, I'm making the event right now. What's Western's time abbreviation?
PST or PCT?
Pacific time. Thank you.
WST.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, that nigga said West.
Shit, my bad. Making that event. So that's gonna be interesting. We got that coming up in like a couple weeks. I do gotta vote though. Shit. But I don't know. The Game Awards is getting bigger year by year. Like now we got it on Peacock, so it's gonna be on an actual like streaming platform.
It's
for
on
the first
Peacock.
Time. It's on Peacock this year. Yeah, it's gonna
That's
be at the Peacock
crazy.
theater. So it's getting big. Like gaming's blowing up. You know. It's the first time it's getting on an actual streaming service. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix tried to pick it up fucking in like within 5 years.
Please don't.
Hopefully not,
Please
because they're gonna buffer it. Please don't. You know they're getting sued actually for that shit.
They
Somebody
probably
sued them.
fucking should.
That's funny as hell.
Niggas bought Netflix to watch that. So they
Facts.
probably should get lined
And
up.
they had the nerve to brag. They're like 70 million viewers tuned in. Did they?
Did they? No. What we saw was ass cheeks.
We saw ass cheeks. Mike Tyson and some ass cheeks. And the cameraman had the nerve to zoom out. What's wrong with him? Somebody fire
He
him.
said nobody's gonna ever believe me. That is so crazy that he panned
Buffer.
out and then panned in. He was like, oh shit.
We got Mike Tyson's ass cheeks on buffer. That's what we got for the fight.
Got his
That's
ass
just
before
crazy.
GTA 6. It's kind of crazy.
Tyson ass before GTA 6. Yes, sir.
Live in front of your family.
And Mike ain't give a fuck.
No care.
Oh my god! I saw that Rain had sent me something on what was that on Facebook or Twitter where he was like Ryan Garcia would actually like break script and fight his. I think that was on Discord.
Oh, for certain.
I would love to see that nigga fight him, bro.
That crazy
Please.
motherfucker would kill him.
Be great.
I actually just got done talking to Jesus and he told me dismantle, Jake. Okay. Let's get it done.
You can keep the money.
You can keep the money. But I actually took 3 steroids in the parking lot. Like I know I'm pissing hot, but I'm about to go.
Hell yeah. About to knock his ass out. Oh god.
Need some of that. If Tank don't do it, I know Ryan will, bro.
Ryan will definitely do 100%. I gotta do
Tank be
it.
talking on Twitter for fun. Sometimes.
He do. He do.
You
Fuck
get the
Tank
world,
fighting,
you get the internet on Ryan's ass. That nigga will do it. He believe in peer pressure.
Most definitely. Well, On another note, we got movies out. Movies. I want to say movie. The only real movie to see right now is Gladiator 2. I would
Crazy.
say.
Venom's out. Last Dance.
Venom's out. I'm talking about new movies that just dropped this month. Did Venom drop this month? No, it dropped October, right? I think it dropped October.
It dropped 3 weeks ago.
It dropped
so, yeah.
So it's coming to streaming soon then.
Jeez.
Shit'll be on Stars in a week.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
But we do got Gladiator 2. Denzel Washington has said that I think after Black Panther 3, he has one more movie planned before he retires. So see him while you can. I hear Pedro Pascal stole the show in Gladiator 2. Haven't seen it yet for myself. I may go see it in a couple days, if not by next week. Have anybody seen it yet?
Sunday, I think.
Is it on pre-screening already? I think it comes out tomorrow.
Pre-screening. We was talking about that.
Pre-screening tomorrow. Pre-screening tomorrow.
Well, yeah, Thursday night, I guess.
Yeah.
Midnight release type shit.
Mm-hmm. Moana though, Moana 2. We know Striker gonna go see that.
I would.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he go see that?
Why not? He liked to go dance and sing at Disney movies.
That's interesting. Oh,
This is true. This is
that
true.
is not true.
I just wanted to know.
He left his camera on one day on stream.
You know Moana's Polynesian, right?
What's that mean?
I'm just making sure.
Why you being racist?
I'm making sure you know that it's Polynesian.
Yeah, I ain't say she was Mexican.
All right.
Oh my God.
That's racist,
That's
right?
the kind of treatment I get, yo. You see this? You see this cheese cubes?
Maybe we should probably move on from this subject.
I mean, you kind of deserve it though.
You were gonna.
That's crazy. What you mean? I deserve it, yo.
I can see if it was Coco. Like I would expect him to go see Coco.
Why you expect him to go see Coco?
You be watching Coco for real?
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, hold on.
Coco's a good movie.
I don't mean that disrespectfully.
I was about to say, ain't nobody here watch Coco.
I fuck with Coco.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I ain't gonna lie.
Alright, so if Princess and the Frog 2, y'all niggas gonna watch it?
Yes.
That's not fair. I actually love that movie.
I like that.
I love
Hey,
that.
yeah.
The black
I
man,
love
see
that
that
shit
motherfucker?
heavy.
The frog? Yeah. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good movie.
You set yourself up. Didn't think you niggas take the bait, huh? We like watermelon and fried chicken too, man. You know?
Hold on now. I don't like watermelon.
Yeah, every nigga got one nigga they don't fuck with though. That's yours.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why I ain't say grape Kool-Aid.
Damn.
I don't fuck
Grape
with
drink.
I was a nerd for John.
Grape drink. Oh my God. We got y'all got anything else y'all want to bring up on today's show? Cheese Cubes, how you feeling? This your first episode. What's going on?
I'm feeling good. This is fun.
All right, let's go. You're
Nothing
welcome to
going
come back, man. Yeah. Come on now.
You just gotta get Striker out of here. He be saying some hot ass, bro.
Oh, you should hear him when he talk about Spider-Man, bro, or God of War. That shit going forever.
God.
Forever. It don't stop. We gotta actually shut him up.
Well, no. God of War did. Spider-Man, I can't.
Spider-Man is actually not getting any DLC. How you feel about that, Striker?
What game robbed God of War?
Oh God.
You know
I
what
just
game
wanted to
Rob
hear
did.
you say it.
You know what game
Please
Rob
be
did.
honest.
What
Please be
you ask?
honest.
Because it's about to win again, nigga. And
That's
that's gonna make you
crazy.
mad.
Crazy.
That's why I ain't
That's why you so happy about this game Wars.
It's about to make you mad. DLC win. I mean, I want Black Myth to win too, but I'm.
It will. It's not even like I want. It will. Like
I don't
ain't
know,
no
man.
hands down. Ain't no questions. It's like you can't deny the greatness that Black Myth Wukong brought.
If
I'm
Earth
not
should
denying
win, we
it.
ain't gonna see this nigga in the VC.
Tell you what the people-
Nah, I'm gonna be in the car on my way to the studio.
And you know why? It's because that nigga that just broke that subathon record live streamed his whole playthrough and brought so much attention to it. And not a single big streamer live streamed a playthrough of Black Myth Wukong. You can't name one.
Come on.
Niggas
Is
ain't-
that
I'll
for real?
stream.
Did no streamer do that?
Nope.
Wait,
Because,
no
you
streamer
know,
what?
Live streamed a playthrough on Black Myth Wukong. No big streamer at all.
They was getting their ass beat.
I mean,
Game
I
went
doubt it.
hard.
I doubt they were getting their ass beaten Wukong more than they were getting their ass beaten Elden Ring.
That's true. What do you think the reason is for that?
That's why I said I feel like they're trying to downplay that game in the media. It's just because
it's been fucking what it's been ostracized since day one for no reason, for no valid reasons.
Well, I mean, yeah,
it's the CCP. We hate the CCP, and it can't win. All right, America first.
It can't fund communism. You know,
the fuck.
Yeah, I get that, but it's a good game.
It's a great game.
Great art.
It looks like China. Oh hell no.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So
God.
that's why I think that's the only reason I think Earth will win over it, because of the media attention it has received.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna have a stronger following.
But you know what? They just topped like what 850 million in gross revenue like 2 months ago. So they made their bag. So I don't think they really give a fuck.
Yeah. And they gonna win awards in other places for sure, and get snubbed, and that's all right.
850 million is fucking
Shadow of the
insane,
Earth Tree?
bro.
No.
Oh no! Last month they exceeded $1 billion. They exceeded $1 billion in revenue on Steam alone. What the fuck? God damn!
Let me get a 0.5% of that, and I'll be happy.
Facts. Can I get 1%?
Better get into that crypto, dog.
I like your game.
That's Did you beat it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We got you.
Hey, High Roller, did you beat it?
Beat what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I never bought the Earthsea, if that's what you're talking about. No,
I thought y'all were going to co-op the DLC. So y'all only co-op the base game?
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't really gonna go through a full playthrough of it until they asked me up on it, to be honest.
Of Elden Ring?
Yeah. I like Souls games, but I'm not like a big Souls player to where I'm actually gonna sit there and go through it and beat
Don't play Sekiro. That shit gonna have you pull your
hair.
Wait,
hold on. Yo, High Roller, did you play Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, I played it.
Game.
I got it on PS5.
Did you beat it?
I'm like halfway through it now.
What the fuck?
Boy, don't finish his food. He already said that.
Yeah, we've been through this. I'm gonna be finishing, but I do think it's an amazing game.
Don't finish food is crazy. That shit funny. Oh man, damn, nigga. You finished Ghost? The new one about to drop.
I gotta hop back on it to finish it.
That's he gonna play it for like all of 2 NPCs that he finds, and that's it.
Hey, what you mean, bro? I talked to 3 NPCs in Witcher 3. Why are you fucking with me?
That's crazy, yo. Each time in increments.
Did you like the card game that came from Witcher 3 though? Glint? Is that what it is? Is it Glint?
I hate card games.
Fair enough. So you don't like TCG either?
Nope.
Cool.
No. I mean, like, I like playing blackjack in GTA.
Not the GTA, bro.
I like blackjack in general and poker. I like
blackjack and GTA. What a coon.
Remind me.
Okay. Well, I lost a couple $100 one time in real life, GTA. So you know I'm gonna play it in GTA.
Y'all know that shit's gonna be on PS Plus, and people who have PS Portal will be able to play that shit.
What's gonna be on PS Plus?
GTA 5.
Oh, I thought it said 6.
Is it actually gonna be on PlayStation Plus for real?
Yeah, it's on.
Well, congrats to PlayStation for putting how old is GTA 5? 8 years old on PlayStation Plus when GTA 6 about to drop in 12 months. Congratulations to them. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for putting a $20 game on your PlayStation Extra. Really, I appreciate it. Very generous. What would we do without?
Funny as fuck for trying that though.
It's fucking crazy, bro. They disrespectful and niggas gonna praise it too. GTA's on it. Shut the fuck up. Fucking who hasn't beat GTA? The fuck? It's 11 years old. I was wrong, and I still almost said a decade. That shit is insane.
Yeah, that bitch 11.
That's literally insane. That shit is 11 years old. Thanks, Sony. We appreciate it so much. What would we do without you?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing, exactly. That's fucking insane.
Well,
like everybody wanted to buy our console when we during COVID. $2,000 for a PS5. Yeah, shit. That's great. Anyway,
I
Cheese
think I
Cubes.
seen clips of did y'all see clips of that video where this store, I guess, wrongfully priced the PS5? What's the Pro or the base edition, whatever? Essentially, they marked it for $170, and people were nutted.
$170.
That's wild.
I would have
$170?
70. I will be
170?
purchasing myself.
Yeah, I'll buy a
I would
couple
have
of
bought
those.
3 of them.
Mm-hmm. I'd have flipped the fuck out of them.
The PlayStation or the people?
Started a little business out of that.
Hell
but
yeah.
let me know
Come
when y'all
get your
got these back in
PS5 Pros
stock.
over here.
Y'all call me as soon as the truck come.
That's crazy, yo. You know what's
It's
crazy
insane.
is the employee that was marking the price, yo. Like, he was probably just tired.
Nah,
He fired. That's what he is.
That's crazy.
he well rested now.
Get some sleep. Go home.
Nah, he marked it wrong so his boys could come get him. And then he'd be like, "Oh, I fucked up. Oopsie. You know, let me fix this." You know, once my boys through.
Crazy as hell.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's that employee discount.
Oh yeah, big facts. We love that one. Yeah, right. Well, Cheese Cubes, we thank you for coming on. You welcome here anytime, brother.
Appreciate it. It was good to be here, y'all. The shit was fun.
High Roller, you want to close us out?
Nah, fuck y'all. You read it.
Oh shit.
I thought he was
earlier. Actually, I will close it out.
Go ahead, close it out. Do your
First,
thing.
wrapping up this episode, you want to thank. Wait, oh shit, I'm fucking
Damn.
up
All
already.
right.
We want to thank everyone who made it this far in today's show. All we ask for is your appreciation to spread the love by sharing the podcast with a friend. While you're at it, go ahead and drop us 5-star rating on supporting platforms. This will help us with the algorithm to promote our show, which helps us with bringing in new listeners. Don't forget, if you want to reach out and keep up with us, you can always find us on our Discord server at discord.gg/thesummit. Thank you all for tuning in, and always, we will see y'all next week. Peace.
He didn't fuck up algorithm, so
He
that's
just
the point.
fucked up every other word in the sentence.
I was reading that shit too fast. Nah, fuck
You
that.
were trying to, yeah.
Oh, you talking shit. Nigga, go lose weight. Be quiet. Get
Oh
out of here.
God, this is crazy.